They've told us for years that seeds are nature's little miracles, nutrient-packed powerhouses full of fiber, protein, and healthy fats. You'll see them sprinkled on superfood bowls, baked into energy bars, or ground into health spreads. But what if I told you that for people over 60, not all seeds are safe? In fact, some of them can quietly inflame your joints, damage blood vessels, and even trigger heart rhythm problems without you realizing it. The scary part? Nearly every senior I've worked with was eating at least one of these seeds daily, thinking it was helping them stay strong. But new research shows certain seeds can make you age faster, weaken your bones, and even block your digestion. At the same time, a different group of seeds can do the exact opposite: your heart, balance your hormones, and even reduce chronic pain. Today, I'll walk you through 4 seeds that should be eliminated from your diet after 60. And 4 you should consider making a daily habit. You'll be surprised by what made the dangerous list. And stay with me to the end, because the #1 good seed has helped some of my older patients walk without pain again after years of struggling. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you something. Do you eat seeds every day? Chia in smoothies? Sunflower on salads? Sesame in crackers? And have you noticed bloating, joint pain, or unexplained fatigue after eating them? Drop your answer in the comments. Read every single one, and often reply with simple tips you can try right away. Now, let's start with the ones you should avoid. The first seed you need to be careful with is sunflower. They seem harmless, sold everywhere, advertised as a great source of vitamin E. But there's a hidden problem, especially for seniors. Sunflower seeds are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 aren't bad by themselves. In fact, our bodies need them. The issue is balance. The ideal balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fats is around 4:1. But when seniors snack on sunflower seeds regularly, that balance shoots way out of proportion, closer to 15 or even 20:1. That kind of imbalance sparks inflammation throughout the body. And inflammation is the root cause of arthritis flare-ups, clogged arteries, and even brain fog. Take Harold, a 71-year-old retired mechanic. He used to snack on sunflower seeds while watching sports every evening. Over time, he developed stiff knees and swollen ankles, and his blood work showed high CRP levels, which are markers of inflammation. He thought it was just aging, but when we swapped his sunflower seeds for ground flax and pumpkin seeds, something incredible happened. Within a month, his swelling dropped noticeably, and he could walk around the block without stopping for the first time in years. So, if you're in your 60s or 70s, sunflower seeds may not be the friendly snack you thought they were. The second seed to watch out for is not something you sprinkle on a salad. It sneaks in through oils. I'm talking about cottonseed, or more specifically, cottonseed oil. It's cheap, so food manufacturers use it in baked goods, crackers, and even some salad dressings. But here's the issue. Cotton plants naturally produce a toxin called gossypol. Insects hate it, and for good reason. In humans, gossypol can disrupt heart rhythm, interfere with muscle function, and increase oxidative stress in cells. One of my patients, Dorothy, a 69-year-old grandmother, switched to low-fat packaged foods after her doctor told her to cut back on cholesterol. Suddenly, she developed muscle cramps, fatigue, and strange fluttering in her chest. Tests didn't reveal much, but when we reviewed her diet, we realized nearly every healthy snack she bought contained cottonseed oil. After cutting it out and returning to whole foods like roasted chickpeas and olive oil dressings, her symptoms faded within 3 weeks. She later told me she felt like someone turned the lights back on. So, if you're over 60, read the fine print on packaged foods. Cottonseed oil often hides where you least expect it. The third seed might surprise you. White sesame. You'll find it on burger buns, in tahini, and drizzled on stir-fries. But sesame seeds carry 2 risks for seniors. First, they're very high in phytates, compounds that bind minerals like calcium, zinc, and magnesium, making them harder to absorb. For older adults already struggling with thinning bones, that can accelerate bone loss. Second, sesame is now recognized as a major allergen, and many of those reactions show up later in life. They don't always look dramatic. In seniors, sesame allergies often cause nagging symptoms, sinus issues, rashes, fatigue, or even joint pain. I remember working with Eleanor, a 73-year-old retired teacher. She loved hummus and ate it daily, but she also suffered from dry skin, constant bloating, and hip pain. It wasn't until we tested her for sensitivities that sesame showed up as a trigger. When she cut it out, her digestion improved, her skin cleared, and her hip pain eased enough that she started gardening again. Sesame might be fine in small amounts for some, but if you're over 60 and struggling with unexplained health issues, it may be worth eliminating. Now, the fourth and most surprising seed that can cause problems if eaten the wrong way. Chia. Yes, the same chia seeds you see in trendy smoothies and detox puddings. The danger isn't the nutrients themselves. Chia is rich in fiber and omega-3s. The danger is how it behaves in your body. Chia seeds swell up to 12 times their size when mixed with water. If you eat them dry or only partially soaked, they can form a sticky mass in your throat or digestive tract. For younger people, this is rarely an issue. But for seniors with reflux, slower digestion, or swallowing difficulties, chia can cause serious blockages. I once saw a man in his early 70s who tried taking a spoonful of dried chia with water, thinking it would clean out his gut. Within hours, he ended up in the ER with a complete blockage. Thankfully, doctors removed it in time. Another patient of mine, George, a 75-year-old with reflux, started adding dry chia to cereal. Within a week, he was so constipated he couldn't sleep. When we switched him to pre-soaked flax, the problem vanished. Chia isn't evil, but if you eat it, always soak it at least 30 minutes first. Otherwise, the risks outweigh the benefits. So those are the 4 seeds to avoid or approach with extreme caution if you're over 60. Now, let's flip the script and look at 4 seeds that can actually protect your brain, heart, and joints as you age. The first one is black sesame. Not the pale, hulled seeds most of us see, but the darker, unrefined version. Black sesame seeds are loaded with antioxidants called lignans that protect brain cells from oxidative stress. In fact, studies show older adults who consumed black sesame daily had better memory recall and lower blood pressure. Take Ruth, a 70-year-old retired math tutor. She started taking a teaspoon of ground black sesame with honey each morning. Within a few weeks, she said her memory felt sharper and her blood pressure dropped from the borderline range back into normal. The second seed to embrace is flax. Unlike chia, flax is safe and incredibly effective when ground. Flax seeds are one of the richest sources of lignans and plant-based omega-3s, both of which reduce inflammation and protect blood vessels. In clinical studies, flax lowered blood pressure in seniors as much as some medications. I saw this firsthand with Alan, a 67-year-old retiree who had constipation and high cholesterol. We added just a tablespoon of ground flax to his morning oatmeal. Within weeks, his digestion improved dramatically, and after 3 months, his cholesterol dropped 40 points. The third seed every senior should consider is pumpkin. Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc and magnesium, two minerals that decline with age. Zinc supports immune strength and wound healing, while magnesium relaxes muscles and helps with sleep. Mary, a 72-year-old former nurse, suffered nightly leg cramps and restless sleep. Instead of giving her supplements, I suggested a small handful of roasted pumpkin seeds each evening. 2 weeks later, she told me she slept through the night for the first time in years, and her leg cramps had nearly disappeared. And finally, the seed that tops my list for seniors: hemp. Hemp seeds are soft, easy to digest, and perfectly balanced in omega-3 and omega-6 fats. They also contain gamma-linolenic acid, a rare compound that reduces inflammation and joint pain. I'll never forget Raymond, a 76-year-old, who used a cane because of severe knee arthritis. We added 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds to his daily smoothie. Within 6 weeks, his stiffness was noticeably reduced, and he often left the cane at home. By 2 months, he told me he was back in his garden, something he hadn't done in years. Hemp seeds don't need grinding, soaking, or cooking. Just sprinkle them on yogurt, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them plain. For seniors, they're one of the simplest, most effective seeds to support mobility and energy. So, there you have it. 4 seeds to avoid after 60, and 4 you should add to your diet starting today. Remember, aging doesn't mean decline. It means adjusting your habits so your body gets exactly what it needs. What worked for you at 40 may harm you at 70, but with the right choices, You can reduce inflammation, protect your heart, and stay active far longer than you ever imagined. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Which of these seeds do you eat most often? And have you noticed changes, good or bad, in your energy, joints, or digestion when you eat them? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else watching this right now. And if you found this video useful, send it to a friend or family member. Because after 60, good health isn't optional. It's the foundation for everything else.